The Secret World of Mark Consuelos, the love story you never saw coming. We all know the Mark Consuelos we see on screen. The devoted husband to Kelly Ripa, the charming sidekick on morning television, the actor with that unmistakable smolder. For over 20 years, he's played these public roles flawlessly. The picture of a perfect partner, a fitness-driven family man, a stable and predictable presence in a whirlwind industry. But what if I told you that the man we think we know has been living a breathtaking secret life? A life not of scandal, but of stunning creativity. A parallel existence so profound that when his wife accidentally discovered it, she didn't find betrayal, she found a love letter in the form of hundreds of artworks, and a man she realized she was only just beginning to truly know. This isn't a tabloid headline. This is a story about the hidden corners of the human heart, the private selves we protect, and the beautiful, shocking intimacy of discovering your soulmate all over again. The accidental discovery, a locked box, and a shattered perception. It happened the way these things do, not with drama, but with quiet, everyday curiosity. Kelly was searching for old tax documents in a forgotten storage closet of their New York home. Her hand brushed against a locked, fireproof case. It was out of place, heavy, mysterious. Thinking it might hold passports or heirlooms, she found the key. When she lifted the lid, she didn't find paperwork. She found portals. Dozens of professional portfolios lay inside, and within them, hundreds of pieces of art. Not casual doodles, but a lifetime's worth of mastery. Exquisite pencil sketches with details so fine they seemed to breathe. Haunting charcoal portraits that looked back at you with living eyes. Canvases exploding with abstract color that vibrated with feeling. Sculptures of reclaimed wood and metal shaped with a sure, knowing hand. Each piece was signed with a simple, cryptic monogram. MC. Mark Consuelos. Her husband, the father of her children, the man who slept beside her for 2 decades, a prolific, secret artist. The discovery left her heart pounding. This was no casual hobby tucked in a drawer. This was an obsession, a calling. The portfolios were a trail of breadcrumbs, leading her to a place in their own home she had always respected as his private domain, a soundproofed basement room he called his meditation and workout room, his one inviolable rule. It was off limits. With a mix of trepidation and awe, she stepped inside. The air smelled of turpentine, linseed oil, and graphite, the sacred scent of creation. Canvases leaned against walls, a drafting table sat under a bright lamp, dusted with charcoal. Tubes of paint and brushes were organized with reverent precision. A pottery wheel waited in the corner. And the walls? The walls were a gallery of his secret soul. This was his sacred space, his confessional. Here, in the silent hours after the family slept or before the sun rose for live, he wasn't a TV personality or a celebrity husband. He was an artist, translating his entire world into visual poetry. The moose revealed, seeing herself through his eyes. As Kelly walked through this hidden gallery of their life together, she began to cry. There were tender, hyper-realistic portraits of their children sleeping, capturing a vulnerability the public never sees. There were abstract works titled with dates that mapped onto their personal joys and private griefs. There were dark, brooding pieces that spoke of struggles he'd never voiced aloud. And then she saw herself. Not as the public sees Kelly Ripa, but as Mark Consuelos sees her. Dozens of studies, her laughing, lost in thought, in profile. She was rendered as geometric shapes, as a mythic goddess, as the subject of endless, loving observation. In every line and brushstroke, she saw a depth of adoration so intimate, so utterly seen, it took her breath away. It was like discovering a secret room in the house of our marriage. And inside that room was the purest, most unedited version of the man I love. I felt overwhelmed, like I had been trusted with the most precious thing in the world. Kelly later told a friend, her voice still thick with emotion. The artist reborn. Why he needed a secret. To understand the weight of this, you have to rewind. Long before Riverdale or morning show couches, Mark was a boy with a sketch pad. Art was his first language, his quiet refuge. But life wrote a different script: modeling, acting, a blazing fast romance, a family, a very public life alongside one of America's most famous women. The artist within was politely shelved as a practical dream until about 15 years ago. During a period of intense career pressure and public scrutiny, of constantly being Kelly Ripa's husband, he felt a deep, inarticulate frustration. He needed a pressure valve entirely his own, free from ratings, critics, or perception. One night, he bought a sketch pad, and the dam broke. What began as cathartic sketches grew into a clandestine life. He took art classes under a pseudonym. He soundproofed the basement himself. His art became his non-negotiable therapy. He said, "That room saved me." He confessed to Kelly after her discovery. "It's where I process everything: the joy, the fear, the absurdity, the love for you and the kids that sometimes feels too big to just say. It's my truth without a filter." The new intimacy: falling in love with the universe inside him. Far from creating a rift, the revelation forged a deeper, more awe-inspiring layer of intimacy. Kelly became his curator and biggest fan. The secret is now a shared sacrament. They've designed a new sunlit studio together in their country home. While he has no plans for a commercial venture, his art now breathes openly in their private spaces. This discovery cracks the public persona wide open. The quiet, observant man on the couch isn't just the strong, silent type. He is a perpetual artist, an intellectual synthesizer, constantly translating the chaos of public life into a private, ordered visual language. His dry wit on air? Just the tip of a massive, beautifully complex iceberg. I fell in love with the man I knew, but this feels like falling in love all over again with a man I'm still getting to know. It's a gift at this stage of our lives. It reminds me that the person you love is a universe, and there are always new galaxies to discover. The real love story. So let's call this what it truly is. This isn't a story about a secret. It's a story about depth. It's about the sacred necessity of a private self, even within the most public of unions. It's about the silent languages of love that flourish beyond words. In a glance, a touch, a stroke of charcoal on paper. Mark Consuelos' secret art wasn't a betrayal. It was the quietest, most profound confession imaginable. A lifelong visual love letter to his family, his experiences, and to the woman who stands at the center of his world. A love letter she finally, blessedly got to read. And in that reading, they both found something extraordinary. That after decades of building a life together, the greatest masterpiece was always that endless, beautiful mystery of each other.